Everybody deserves a Mary Sue. You may be asking yourself, who is Mary Sue? Mary Sue owns and operates Rainbow School, or Mary Sue's, as the little ones call it. Rainbow School is a local licensed home child care center in Rangeley, Maine. Mary Sue has dedicated over 30 years of her life because she loves children and is passionate about early education. My dream is for every town to have a Mary Sue. Having access to high-quality childcare is essential to children, our families, and our economy. It should not be a privilege, but a right. Access to this childcare should be available to everyone and not depend on where you live or your socioeconomic status. Many children's basic needs are not being met. Families are struggling to make ends meet and put food on the table. Maine has the highest rate of food insecurity in any New England state. Families need access to high-quality childcare so children can thrive and parents can work. More than 1 in 5 children live in what is considered a childcare desert in Maine. For every 3 children who need childcare, there is only 1 slot. Research shows us that problems finding high-quality childcare lowers worker productivity and costs working families and their employers billions of dollars annually. Family income and job stability directly impacts a child's physical, social, and emotional health. Lack of childcare is both a state and federal issue. Offering more high-quality childcare options for families in every area of our country and state will only benefit all children's education and overall health. Every child deserves a Mary Sue. My story with Mary Sue starts back in 2003 when I found out I was pregnant with my first child. Rangeley is a lot of like other small rural towns in Maine. Finding high-quality licensed daycare is pretty much impossible. My husband and I contacted Mary Sue shortly after finding out we were expecting to get our firstborn on her waiting list. I remember thinking this was silly. She wasn't even born yet, but that's what you did to get your child into Mary Sue's. We had her daycare all set for when she turned 2.5, but what would we do when she was an infant? We had no one. That's when I realized I was living in a childcare desert. Our daughter was born, we were happy. The reality was sinking in that my maternity leave would be coming to an end, and we still had no one. Finally, a friend pulled through and put me in contact with a mom who had a child that was a year older. We met, I felt comfortable, I was so excited. I would be able to return to my classroom, and my daughter would be in good hands and have a friend to play with during the day. The day had come, I was returning to my students. As I'm sure all parents can relate to this moment in life when you drop your child off for the first day, there are many emotions. I cried the whole way to work. Teaching that day was hard. I watched the clock, trying to focus on my task at hand, but wondering how my sweet baby was doing. As soon as I could leave, I rushed to pick her up. I asked all those questions that a mom would ask, thanked the woman, and I was on my way. As soon as I got home, I heard a message on my answering machine. It was the woman that was watching my daughter. She said, "I realized after having your daughter for a whole day, it was too much and I can't do it. I can no longer watch her." I had been back to work one day. I went into panic mode. Thankfully, one of my friend's moms watched her new baby and offered to help for a couple of weeks until I figured something out. Everyone knew I was trying to find someone to watch my daughter. The problem was, there was no one. I had no other choice but to request a leave of absence for the year. I was going to have to leave my students a steady income and stay home. I quickly went to work and got my home licensed for home daycare. I was going to try to help other families who are in my situation. We were not the only family in Rangeley like this. My 4 slots were filled fast, and I soon had a waiting list. This was when our town realized we had a big problem. A committee was formed, and I was on this committee. We quickly put together a daycare center in the basement of our doctor's office. It was called Healthy Beginnings. I loved that name. For me, it was stated how crucial high-quality daycare was. It was essential for a healthy beginning. We had hired 2 teachers, and they took infant and toddlers. I was so happy. I was proud of this work. I still am. It made a difference in our community. Throughout my undergraduate and graduate work at the University of Maine at Farmington, I studied the importance of early learning, A child's early years are the foundation of their future success with cognitive, social, and emotional development. I also saw this impact during my own childhood. My mother had a thriving licensed daycare business. I saw the impact she made on families and children every day. Mama Linda was my hometown's Mary Sue. When my daughter turned 2.5, we brought her through the magical doors of Mary Sue's Rainbow School. I quickly realized why so many people are on her waiting list. She was loving, caring, perfect. Bringing such loving and nurturing environment made it much easier for me to go back to work. Mary Sue became her second mother. She cared for her as I would. She snuggled her when she was sad, comforted her when she was sick. She provided early learning experiences that were crucial to my daughter's development. Mary Sue knew the importance of early education. I am excited to see that Governor Mills recently signed LD 1712, which will use hundreds of millions of state and federal funds to increase the quality childcare and expand access to all. This law is aimed to help rural communities broaden their accessibility to high-quality daycare options and help families who might be living in a childcare desert. This is a step in the right direction. You see, everyone deserves a Mary Sue. High-quality childcare is the foundation of our education system. As educators, both nationally and locally, we need to work together to ensure that accessibility to childcare is available to all, and that it's the foundation of our education system is built strong. Learning starts way before children walk through the doors of a public school. Every child deserves to be loved and enriched with learning experiences. Every parent deserves to leave their child somewhere knowing they are being cared for and learning all the important things children should be learning during these crucial developmental years. Every community deserves someone who knows the value of early education and family support. Everyone deserves high-quality childcare options no matter where you live or your socioeconomic status. I feel it is my job to bring awareness and advocate for change in rural communities. Advocating for our youngest learners is my passion. We need to find ways to fund more high-quality daycare centers. We need to make sure these daycare centers are equipped with what they need to support all children's development. We need to make services accessible for rural communities when children have a disability and need specialized care. By doing these things, everyone's family can experience a Mary Sue.